Hi everyone, Mrs. Ryder here. Have you listened to the story of Elmer the elephant? I hope that you have. Elmer is a wonderful elephant, and this story is all about him and how he is very unique. So our activity today is that we are going to create our own Elmer the elephant. So Mrs. Ryder sent you this paper. If you're able to print it out, that's great so that you can do it with me. If you are not, then maybe you can draw your own elephant or make your own special collage, okay? So here is our Elmer the elephant, and if I look, I can see lines going down and lines going across that are making lots of different, what shape? Squares. Most of these are squares, and what we're gonna do is just like in our story, we are going to color Elmer, or you can also use colored paper. So these are the supplies that you're gonna need in order to do your Elmer paper. You can choose to use like markers or colored pencil or crayons, and you can color different patterns all over his body. So this is called we call this a patchwork when it looks like that. So you can do that and color it all different colors and then be finished. You could also use watercolors to create coloring the different squares. You could use just regular paint. But what Mrs. Ryder is going to do is I'm actually going to use colored paper, and I'm going to use scissors to cut it out and a glue stick to glue it in place, but I could also use liquid glue if I did not have a glue stick. Okay, you ready to do this with me? So one of the things that Mrs. Ryder likes to do is I'm gonna take my colored paper, and I am going to use two sheets right now. I have yellow and red, and I'm gonna stack them together, and then I'm gonna take my scissors. Mrs. Ryder's using adult scissors, but you can use your kid scissors. And I'm gonna cut all the way down one straight line. So your adult can make that line for you. And now I have a strip of red and a strip of yellow. So the next thing that I could do is I could make little lines to turn these into squares. You see my lines? Perfect. So now we're gonna cut them, and I'm gonna cut them over a plate or a bowl, or Mrs. Ryder's gonna do it over my paper so I have something to collect when I'm cutting. And remember, I open the mouth of my scissors like an alligator mouth, and I chomp down and I eat the paper, right? Perfect. After we have cut all of our squares, and remember, you can do whatever colors you want, now we're gonna glue them in place. Now, if my squares are bigger than the squares on my paper, is it a big deal? Goodness no, right? So Mrs. Ryder's gonna take my glue stick, and on the back of one of my squares, I'm gonna put some glue and then stick it in place. Mrs. Ryder doesn't wanna take my glue stick and glue on my actual paper because sometimes our glue can get sticky and get into spots that we're not ready to work on yet. So I'm gonna make my design, and I'm making a pattern. So red, yellow, what would come next? Red. And what comes after red? Yellow. So again, you can do a rainbow of different colors. Like our friend Elmer here, you can work on your pattern skills because I know you are super good at doing patterns, right? And you're going to just continue to do however you want so that you can be creative and you can make your own patchwork Elmer, right? After I am done coloring or using my markers or my paint and making the design that I want, at the bottom of your paper, there's an extension for writing, and it says, I am unique because, and it's important that you tell your adult what makes you so special. And there's lots of things that make you special, but you can choose one that you can write there, and your adult can use a highlighter or a yellow marker or some way to write it down, and then you can try to trace those letters or you may be ready to try writing those words on your own with the help of your adult spelling. So Mrs. Ryder says, I am unique because, and I'm going to say I'm unique because I am a preschool teacher, and that makes me feel super special because I get to spend my days with my students and I get to share the things that I know to help make learning fun. So I feel like that's what makes me unique. All right, so here's the start of my Elmer the Elephant. I'm gonna keep on going and finish it. I can't wait to see what your Elmer looks like, and make sure that you send me a picture. Have a good day.